How's it, Hawaiians? This is Chris, co-owner of Hawaii's first and only vegan and gluten-free Li Hing Mui Sauce, inspired by the thick consistency of Cali's ever-popular Chamui sauce and Hawaii's well-known Li Hing Mui Flavor. Reintroduce Chamui, Hawaii in a squeeze, sharing a local favorite in a familiar way. The possibilities with recipes are endless, and it makes a flavorful addition to your favorite snacks, desserts, and beverages. It's the perfect balance between sweet, salty, and sour that builds excitement in every squeeze. Chamui, the new way to Li Hing Mui. Grab yours today at www.chamui.com. Follow us on IG at CHAMUIHI. Mahalo nui from Chamui.
The Aloha Hour with Johnny and Dewey.
That gave me PTSD. I got PTSD when I heard that. I grew up in Camp Ford housing. I grew up in public housing. Whenever you heard that was, now it's, whoa, hey. When you heard that was, you have to run.
Somebody's chasing
coming, We live in different times now.
Yeah, thank God.
Right on. I'm going to make a short introduction of our guest of today. He grew up in the Cam Housing Project in Kalihi Valley. He became a Golden Glove champion boxer at the age of 16. In 1991, he first tasted of stand-up, taking top honors during an open mic night in the old Honolulu Comedy Club. He developed his earliest material with help of local comedian Andy Bumatai, who taught him that it isn't always necessary to use profanity in order to get a laugh. He won the Hanohano Award for Comedy Album of the Year, the Comedy Kahuna in 1999, and then again in 2003 in the comedy category with Locally Disturbed in 2003. In 2002, he was voted Comedian of the Year as the funniest comic in Hawaii by the Honolulu Star-Bulletin and MidWeek.
Who made this up?
We pay a lot of money for this.
He's the only local comedian to sell out Blaisdell Arena and is recognized as one of Hawaii's top 100 influential Filipinos with an exhibit at the Bishop Museum. He was the recipient of the prestigious Pacific Business News 40 Under 40 Award and can be seen on multiple TV shows, commercials, and movies, and recently became a council member for District 9 after the last election.
Yeah.
He is Augie T.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
How's
Thank
that
you
for
very much.
short?
Wow.
I know it's Benny Kahuna,
I
but
was
go
like,
ahead.
Was that the funniest thing? I originally went in to audition for the forensic guy.
Yeah.
Not Benny Kahana. And then that Friday, I went back to Dave & Buster's. And what happens with comedy, you got to get up on stage. It's like anything else. You get rusty. So I needed to get back on stage to talk, do comedy. And just so happened, Magnum was filming on Ala Moana Boulevard. So Peter Linkoff and some of the cast members came to the show, on the first night where, some of the jokes that I wrote was going bomb.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, Peter Linkoff, the guy that, wrote Hawaii Five-0 and Magnum, he's there. And I'm watching him laugh. Right, and then I get a call the next morning. Hey, I want you to come in and read for Benny Kahana. And I was like, and I want you to play Benny the way I saw you play Benny on stage. And I was like, all right. So I went there, did it, and the rest is history, as they say.
Oh my God! Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming in. This is a huge honor for us. We've been waiting for that. Man, what a crazy life you had. We did our research when we digged in deep, and there's so much about you. I mean, it's endless. Let's start with the beginning. Mm-hmm. You were the second oldest of 6.
Yeah.
Born in?
I was born and raised here.
Here.
Grew up in Kalihi. I have a stepbrother, Lawrence, for my dad's first marriage, and it's me and 5 other boys.
Wow, no girls, no sisters.
No sisters. Woo! Can you imagine? Mom, Jess. You look at my mom
God.
now.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. I come home and she's all bossed up, and she just started discovering Facebook. So like I walk in, my mom and dad moved into my home because my dad started getting dementia, and my dad was like, "Hey, I want to come live with you," and he passed away. But they moved in, and we never had the conversation of when they move out. So my mom is still there, right? So I come home, and you can see the results of 55 years of just, she's laying on the bed. She don't have teeth. Ma, you okay? Yeah. She's on Facebook sending messages, those prayer messages, like if you do this prayer, you can get $1 million. She's out there just spamming everybody. Are you okay? And these are my friends. I go, Ma, you spamming everybody. Don't do it. Okay, all right. So, yeah, very,
What was your childhood like? If you can just like,
a lot of the comedy came from just a very dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest, right? And we just drove our parents nuts, and we weren't big kids. We grew up in public housing. So we're like, my mom is 4'1", my dad is 4'3", and I believe they're elves. But, God had blessed me to be like, a little bit over 5 feet, because I could have been, 4'2.5", I could have been that guy. But, it was very, man, my mom and dad got us involved in a lot of things because they were worried about, the company that we kept. And, if you believe in, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, that's exactly how my life was growing up. And I think my mom and dad knew that I was going somewhere, because we had a very, like I said, dysfunctional family. My older brother is a career criminal. My brother below me was the first casualty of crystal meth in Hawaii, took his life. And the crazy thing is that we all lived in the same house. So I never believed that your environment keeps you there. You choose where you want to go in life. Right. We had come to, crossroads in our lives, and we can either choose to do good or choose to go bad. So when I hear people make up excuses, there's a side of me that go, wow, no. It's personal responsibility. It's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to go that path or you're going to go on that path. Might be a little bit harder, but it's a good path. And one of the things that I loved about my mom and dad, they gave us that freedom, but they also taught us responsibility. Like, if you're going to screw up, you better take responsibility. And when you have victories, celebrate that, but share in your victories. So, they were very simple people. My dad went up to the 4th grade, my mom, high school. And, like I said, they got us involved with a lot of things. So my core group of people were teachers, coaches, police officers. I was an athlete early on in life. I started boxing when I was 12 years old, and my Chinese coach looked at me and said, if you first in the gym and you last coming out of the gym, you're going someplace in life.
Wow.
And I went,
that is
wow,
so
okay.
true.
And I had a teacher in the 8th grade that knew I was messing up and said, Augie, I'm going to challenge you to step outside the box. I want you to enter a speech contest. And I looked at her and I went, a speech contest for the nerds? What are you talking about? And she said, look, if you fail, I know what's going to happen. You're going to get lickings from your dad. You would rather get lickings or you going to do what I say, pass, and maybe possibly learn something about yourself. And I just remember Miss Murakami, who I talk about a lot in my life, looked at me like no one has ever looked at me in the eye and said, I believe in you. And even now I get a little choked up, because she never had to. But man, there are so many great people in my life that said, they care about me, and that I was gonna be somebody. And if it wasn't for, my boxing coach, my drama teacher, Miss Murakami, amazing people in my community like Fa'atea, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, and amazing people who gave me an opportunity. At 16, I made my girlfriend pregnant. I was ranked 7th in the world in boxing and could have really do amazing things there. But my dad was like, hey, what I told you, I'm not watching your kid. It's your responsibility. That's your doing, not my doing. Boxing is done. You got to go work. And I'm so thankful for that, and I worked at Jack in the Box for like 6 months, and I was like, how can I pay for my son's medical working at Jack in the Box? And, luckily, like I said, I had teachers in school that would challenge me to step outside the box, taught me how to look for jobs. And I remember looking in the newspaper, Kapiolani Medical Center part-time, $725. And I went, $725, that's the same amount my dad make, part-time. And because I did well in school, I went to summer school because I boxed during the school. While school was in session, I had to make up my credits. So I had enough credits my junior year to leave at noon to go to work. And I went to Kapiolani Medical Center. I was 16 years old, and I told the lady, the director at that time, that I needed this job. And she looked at me like, you're 16. I don't normally hire 16-year-olds. I hire college students at the UH to come in part-time that's thinking about going into the food service industry, or, their next step is to be, doctors or working in a medical center. And I said to her, look, I made my girlfriend pregnant, and I really need this job. And she said, look, if you call in sick once, you're late, I'm going to fire you. I was there for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was able to,
That's what's up.
provide for my family, bought my first home because of that job. But it's because people cared. People gave me a chance.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm grateful for. Like, I never took anything for granted, and I enjoyed every minute of this 52 years on earth. Like, if you ask me, if something happened to me and I died tomorrow, I would be okay. I can look you in the camera and really say that, because, after I sold out the Hawaii Theater, I was like, whew, I did everything that I supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then I went on to do radio, and then I get to be on Magnum PI, Hawaii Five-0, Aloha Surf Hotel, this new movie that's out there, and I won an election that a lot of people thought that there's no way a comedian is gonna serve in office against a guy who's been in office for 20-something years, raised more money, and it was just...
It's a miracle. You really think about it. It's like all this is like the greater divine has kind of almost mapped out your entire life. The man upstairs kind of...
He took care of me and
really,
my family.
You really think about it.
I mean,
it's
I'm not
insanity how you got
rich,
here.
I'm not... But, like, I have a great story to tell to hopefully inspire people so that they can see that, hey, with enough hard work and being brutally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being vulnerable, that things good can happen in your life, and there's more of that. But we always hear about, the sadness and how the destruction, but man, there's so much of the kind of stories that I have in people. And that's why it's podcasts like this to get the message out, because in the end, I know you guys just want to inspire people. I mean, the name of your podcast is already inspiring. So, I think that's the beautiful part of our life, is that, we are here to, do something amazing and leave something that people can look up to and say, wow, maybe I can do better than that. That's what I always tell people when, my wife and my daughter, doing things with our foundation, Brave Hawaii. My daughter created a foundation 5 years ago. Brave stands for Be Respectful and Value Everyone. And she created that foundation because she was bullied in school. And I know we wouldn't have been effective if we were so busy with life and not sitting down with our children and we noticed the signs, you know, and being able to talk to your kid because they're going through challenges is so important in this day and age because they're so locked in on the phone. You gotta talk to them. And we're able to find, you know, she's not the same. Why is she acting this way? And we were able to pull it out of her. And going through that process, it made her into, you know, a stronger person where she went, look, I want to just do whatever I can to make this place better. So she created this foundation. And, you know, it's changed my life because, you know, I grew up in public housing, but helping my daughter's foundation, being involved in politics the last 3 years with being in the Mayor Kinoy's administration on the Big Island, and then working with Lieutenant Governor Shan Sitsui, I saw, you know, people in the community that was struggling, and I was like, how can this be happening in 2020? You know, 2019. I mean, I grew up poor, but I've never seen poor like this in Hawaii. How is that even possible, right? And it just gave me a passion to want to do something, and I became more empathetic. You know, with comedy, you look at the world, and you see the craziness of the world, and you make light of it. You find the funny in it.
Yeah.
And it was getting harder.
Right.
It was getting harder when you go to people's homes and they're living paycheck to paycheck, or you see one kid that got beaten up in school because of his, you know, gender, or because he looked one certain way. Man, it's heartbreaking. I don't know anybody that thinks that's funny, but it's heartbreaking when you see it, you know, in person. So for me, man, I was like, I can use the celebrity the right way, or I can be challenged by my daughter who said, I dare you to step outside your comfort zone. I want you to run for office. She's like, you'd be good
So
at running
she
for
was the
office.
one that actually pushed you.
Yeah. You know, and, you know, like
What's
you
her
said,
name?
Mahia.
Mahia, shout out to Mahia. Good job.
Listen,
Good job.
when Kikoa back up and running, I want to definitely get involved with Brave because I think using jiu-jitsu is a way to really empower these kids to have a sense of self-esteem. And we met through jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
And the company we have is jiu-jitsu and surf and all that. But I truly feel that, yeah, we got to get together. No, we're going to connect.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So it's been an amazing journey, a roller coaster ride in life that I wish everybody had that opportunity to get on, because for me, man, this last year and 8 months have been life changing.
Wow.
I can imagine.
I cannot wait to get started. I cannot wait to roll up my sleeve and learn, absorb, and work hard for my community. But at the same time, still be, the lighthearted, kind guy that, still want to put smiles on people's faces. So, like you, I have a radio show in the morning. It's me and my wife, and we just talk
Story.
and play the kind of music that we love to play. And it's Shaka 96.7 if you get the chance to listen. And it's cool time for me and my wife, and then I get to go do the things that I love doing. And, and that's in January. And I, get sworn in to be the next city councilman for District 9 that has over 157,000 people.
Wow.
And that's Eva Beach.
No, I think it's all the way to
Eva-
Mililani.
Yeah, it goes up to
It goes from
Mililani
I think
town.
Mililani, Kunia, goes
Waipahu,
all the way to
Waikele,
all the way to.
So it's a big district,
Yeah.
and I'm excited about the challenge.
I think people vote for you because of that. I think they don't want a politician. They want a real human being, a real father.
Yeah, people nowadays are tired of career politicians.
Yeah, I know I am. I didn't vote.
Oh, yeah, me
we talked
too.
earlier before the show. I goes, God, I just want to go through a list. I want to get somebody there who really know what it's like to struggle in the daily life, just to maintain peace and love in our household and put food on the table.
Yeah.
So touching that subject, you going home to your mom and you're in the, in the public housing, and you tell her, Mom, I want to be a comedian. What's her first response?
Oh gosh.
And how old were you when you actually told mom and dad you want to do that?
Well, the thing is, because I got out of the home at an early age, at 16, I became a dad.
Yeah.
And I was already renting out my own place when I was 17 already.
Wow. Okay.
So I was out of the home. I was working.
You didn't have a childhood.
No.
Yeah, you kind of
No.
you skipped that.
And that's cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't ever regret that happening because it made me into
Who you are today.
the person I am today. But when I talk to my children now, I'm like, man, live every moment you can to where it's a chill moment.
Yeah.
Because I tell them, hey, if they can, every night before they go to bed, before they go to sleep, go, oh man, today was you should have that kind of day.
Yeah.
Where I cannot believe I did that, because that's what keeps you excited about life and challenges, and that's how I want my kids to live their life. But at the same time, I want them to be respectful citizens. I want them to be a good stewards of their money, because my dad never gave us anything. So when my kids look at me, like, what you gonna do for me? You know what I mean? It's so easy because I remember how tough it was, but they understand. They're all amazing kids, and I'm thankful for, I have a blended family, and at Christmas time, it's just the loudest house on the block.
Yes.
And I look the
I can
most
imagine.
normal.
That's just happiness.
Dude, I have 2 openly gay sons, and all you have to do is go on my YouTube page and you see these guys and you go, I cannot believe that. Gosh, my kids are
I can imagine Christmas, all of you together. It's probably
It's
like the best
loud.
comedy show ever.
I don't have to write comedy. Everything is in front of me. Everything is in front of me. It's like the most amazing thing. It's like you said, I think God went interviewing and go, I think this guy needs to be more than just a sponge to his entire family. He needs to be a sponge and squeeze out everything and put that out for everybody. When I started talking about my gay sons, this is 17 years ago where
That's right.
people wasn't used to
Right.
So you have
hearing-
2 gay sons.
Yeah. So my oldest son came out, earlier, like, Dad.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm coming out of the closet. I go, I already know. Why you coming out of the closet already? I already know.
How old was he?
He was maybe, I already knew, I already knew when he was, small. People now, I become the Dr. Phil
Yeah.
for parents. Everybody think I'm the gay expert. I get guys coming up to me
Hey, Augie, right?
Yeah, how you know your kid's gay? I go, I don't know. Watch how they run. That's what I kind of do. I was like, son, why you gonna run that way? Why you flapping your wings? You should be run like Dad. Why are you running like that? And then what else, Augie? What else? You gotta. And this is in my routine. You gotta watch how they take pictures. We all took pictures in this room, including your camera guy, the same way as 4th grade. We were. My kids' 4th grade picture was like. Can you imagine giving that picture to your uncle? My son's school picture. He was like, what the hell is this? But and they laugh at that because when I write the jokes, I usually ask, what do you guys think? And they're like, oh, that's funny, Dad. What else, Augie? Watch how they eat hot dog. It gives me a kick. Whenever I watch my sons eat a hot dog at a barbecue, I'm like, why gotta be a spectacle? Why can't you just eat the hot dog? Why you gotta eat the hot dog, dude?
Just eat that.
Eat the hot dog. Why you
Did it ever bother you?
No. I'm a
Because
comic.
you said it
These
was
guys-
17 years ago.
People, yeah. Well, in the beginning, everybody attacked. And the thing is, like, this is how I know, like, things are changing, right? Like, back then, when I did it, you know, the gays got mad. It was like, you're teasing. I had to put, if you get my first DVD, thank you. But I had to put my son on so that people will see it. And then they saw the relationship between me and my son. And they went, oh my God, we love you.
Yeah.
You have to have validation. We love you, Augie. You know, and I love my kids to death, and I love what they're all about. But doing that routine was difficult because people needed to understand, like, I'm a real person too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't always agree with everything that they do, but I love them, and I want to make sure they're protected. But they also have to understand, like, not everybody gonna agree with your lifestyle at that time.
Right.
People are more open now, you know, and because that honesty came out on stage, you know, throughout the years, I would have guys, like this one guy, maybe about 2 years ago, I was in Don Quixote, and he came, sat down, and I was like, oh no, because his brother was, you know, he was a big dude, and he was like, bro, it's like, tell you something. You know, he had the tattoos on his face, it's like, I was going to kill my son. And I was like, what? And then he started crying, he said, but I saw your DVD in prison, and I went, wow. You know, because at the end of the day, man, that's the baby that you carried, that you looked into, you know, his eyes or her eyes, and you went, I'm going to protect this baby. You know what I mean? At what point do you lose that connection?
Right. Yeah.
To where, like, I don't have nothing to do with you. And people needed to see that frustration when I did the bit. But they also saw that, man, I love my son. At the end of the day, I love my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people said that helped, you know. And now when I do a comedy routine, they're like, no, what's going on? You know, what's happening with your son? So I've, you know, they're two, you know, adult gay men, and it's the funniest thing. One is conservative, one is liberal. So, you know, was crazy. Can
You got everything in your house.
Wow.
Huh?
The conservative was like, you know, he was excited for Trump. The other one was like, Dad, if Trump wins, I'm moving. You know? And it was so funny because I was like, you sure? You sure? You know, because I'm a nonpartisan. You know, I listen to both sides.
Yeah.
But my son, who was in his 20s, like, Dad, if he wins, I'm moving. I was like, okay, you move out of the house. You know
A lot of people said that they moved, none of them.
Never moved. But the funny part was, like, when, you know, 2016, when I'm sitting in front of my TV and I'm seeing Trump winning, and I'm like, you know, Trump 241. I was upstairs packing my son's clothes. And I was like, hey, a deal is a deal. I'm like, just play. I was like, come on. You said you was going to move. So, you know,
That's epic.
yeah, man, what a amazing life. And my wife is, you know, totally opposite from me.
No.
There's a great balance. Oh, my wife is Howley.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Kids are beautiful.
Filipino.
Yeah.
Howley, you know, but she speaks in complete sentences. So, you know, she had to learn a little bit about me, and I had to learn a little bit about her. But you know, it's perfect. You should be, you know, different from your partner. You know,
Yeah.
you balance each other out. You know, so you know, I have a wonderful family, and you know, the jokes is
You
right
are
there in front of
represent
me.
your family is like represent America in so many ways, right? I mean, literally, like you have boys and girls, gay and straight, conservatives, and you're in the middle, and like what a beautiful melting pot.
Yeah.
Right? And that's America. That's like Hawaii.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about, you know, going through the last year and 8 months. People they tried to associate me with a party, and I'm like, no, I'm a nonpartisan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm running because I'm concerned about people. I don't care if you Republican or Democrat, gay or straight, yellow or black. We all local.
Yeah.
Let me represent you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what transcended. And people said, "I'll give this guy a chance," and I'm gonna take that to heart. You know, and we working hard. We hired my team, and we're looking forward to getting out there in the community and leading by example. I think that's one
everything.
of the things. Yeah, one of the things I said before Corona.
Yeah.
Before the coronavirus, that I was going to take 5% pay cut.
Yeah.
And you look today, the governor said he's going to, 2 days of furlough,
Yeah, so-
take a pay cut, right?
Yeah.
I said that prior
Today,
to COVID.
Governor Ige
Yeah.
basically declared that they're going to take 2 days off, which
Yeah.
is going to save us 9.2%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to find ways to, balance this thing out. And, I always felt like, even prior to COVID, that you got to lead by example, and that's why I said I was going to do that. It's not because, I was trying to
Do you feel
stand
that
out.
right now that when you need to lead by example, you're more on the, like, everybody's looking, you got to be perfect. Suddenly you became from a human, you became perfect. Now everybody's looking what you do not right, not what you do right.
Nah, I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? Because in the year and a half, I heard a lot of people give me advice or say things. They're on the phone, they're giving me all these amazing solutions, and I'm listening to them, and all I keep thinking about is like, why you don't run then? Hey, thank you. You know what I mean? Everybody's like a critic.
Yeah.
A Monday morning quarterback. Like, here's an opportunity. Every 2 and 4 years,
Yeah.
you can run for office.
Yeah.
That's why when people started attacking or they say mean things, like, I heard it. I was a comic, believe me.
Yeah.
The skin is tough enough
Yeah.
to withstand and take that. Because at the end of the day, I'm like you. I gotta go to Foodland, Safeway, you know what I mean? And you can put everything on me?
Yeah.
Bruh, the street dirty, help me go clean them.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting? We get ways to work around things, and all these smart people, all these guys with money. Why don't they come up then and step up to the plate? So I'm not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And if you think I'm
Cannot.
going to be perfect, come on, man.
Cannot. And you shouldn't be, because you're
Yeah.
human. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be perfect. You should do to the
It's
best
like
of your
serve.
ability.
It's like serve. I just like do what's right. I like be able to go to my job, and like all our jobs, you guys are successful businessmen. When things don't go your way, hard to sleep at night. I just want to be able to make good decisions so that I can go to bed at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And appreciate the people around me, my family, the staff. So, people like that are just kind of like.
Yeah, they always have something to say. I mean, I think
I
what you said.
guarantee you, the comments below, everybody gonna attack.
Nah.
No,
With
but
the
like-
Aloha Hour, we only
Yeah,
have
yeah,
good
but like-
comments.
Yeah,
Everybody's
always.
like,
But to Augie's point, everybody, there's someone out there. It's so easy to hide behind
Yeah.
a phone and just spit out whatever you want to spit
Oh,
with no
yeah.
consequences, right? And it comes back to accountability. Those person not really looking themselves in the mirror and look at the accountability of what they express to the world, and that's the problem. Like, we just so easy to have an opinion and follow something or post something because it's so easy. Before, back in the old days, there's no such thing. You got to walk up to somebody and have a conversation to express a point of view. And that's testing your commitment to your view, your perspective, before you share with that somebody. Now, you can be just, like... I call
Podcast like this, right?
Yeah. I call them post and ghost. You post it and you ghost them because you never be accountable. I think what you say is so powerful, Augie, is I think I'm trying to convince every single business owners our goal at Kiko was simple, because for us to create change in the community, we can't just stop relying on the government and whatever it is. We, as a collective, as small business owner, if we all imagine, Johnny, me and you, and we get everybody we know in jiu-jitsu and things that we love, like all the business owners, right? And at the end of the year, we get together and kind of go, look, we made X amount of dollars, and then let's hui together, put a bucket of dollar together to this, this pond, and let's look at the community and go, what is the community needs right now, and let's take part of our profit and create change in the community. That's what great business and capitalism is all about, and then you do your fucking magic, dude. You keep doing you,
I
do
see
your
it as
fucking
socialism,
magic.
and I have a little bit of problems with that.
No. Socialism is about socialism. Socialism is forced. Right? This is not forced. Yeah. This is all volunteer based. That's what Cocoa is all about. Because I realized by the end of the day, just like we talked about before, we can't take it with us.
Yeah.
And we can't leave our children either. They'll be fucked up. I don't know a whole lot of people. I know a lot of wealthy people that left money for their children, and they're a piece of shit. Yeah. Seriously, they never know what it's like to live in Kali and struggle and come home. I came from 6 brothers and sisters. Right, and I can tell you, you come home late, no more food. There's no more food. You're hungry. So you better come home early, or you got to figure out before you come home. There's nothing left. But we can't wait for the government to fix the issue. But we, as business owner, can create a change with a newer generation that come up and go, hey, maybe this is the way to approach. Some for me, some for a company, for an employee, and maybe some for the place that support our business. That's what I'm all about.
Dude,
that's what I'm all about.
Man, small business owners, they got my heart. Honestly, I mean, gosh, you guys have been through so much the last year and a half, and in some small way, I too am a small business owner, and the day I made my announcement to run for office in January, I lost my radio job. But I never go on social media and complain and cried, because I'm not a victim. But I think it's important for people to understand that, at that moment, I was like, that was the meat of how I took care of my family, right? And I remember that night I wrote a letter to my wife. I wrote a letter to people who was important in my life, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be an awesome day. I'm gonna go to Satellite City Hall, Honolulu, and go, I am declaring, and I did my radio job, and I remember walking into the office. Mind you, I've never gotten fired from a job before. And I walked in, and it just was dark. You just gotta, I've never felt this before. And I saw the HR person, I went, you gotta be kidding, today? And I had to walk to Honolulu. And if you watch the video of the day I made my announcement, I was so distraught. My wife and everybody in the back of me, they were smiling, they was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then I had to look at my family and go, by the way, I lost my job. This is prior to COVID going into full effect. So as a business owner that do gigs, sells ads, to make your business run, Augie Enterprise. I went, okay, yeah, I lost my radio job, but I still have stand-up. I just signed a 2-year deal with the Plaza Hotel in Vegas, 8 shows. Like, yeah, go back, do comedy. That's how I've survived for 28 years. If I lose something, I just do more gigs. And then COVID would hit. Nothing. No gigs.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't run. I'm putting a burden on my family. I can't get unemployment. I'm panicking, and I'm thinking, if I do that, people are going to think, he just did this for publicity. I had walked already miles and miles. I knocked on 10,000 doors prior to making my announcement. So I was like all in, and I was like, I think this would damage my career if I just said, I'm out.
I'm not running.
Yeah, and so people don't know, but like in that year, I worked graveyard shift, security guard. My mom helped out. My wife and my kids delivered groceries just so that we can make ends meet, because I lost that. But I think that needed to happen because in the campaign, what happened was as I went door to door and people in my district, Waipahu, Ever Beach, they all work in Waikiki, they lost their jobs.
Right.
And for successful business people, or when you live in a bubble for so long, there's money always coming and all of a sudden it stops, it dries. Sometimes we respond differently. And I think if I wasn't running for office, it would have been so hard for me to look at my neighbor who works in Waikiki that lost his job and don't know if he can ever go back,
Right.
worried about paying his mortgage. Man, I thank God that I was able to go through that because I was able to feel and hear him out. And if I was still doing comedy and doing all the things, I don't know if I would have been able to connect as much as I did.
That
Yeah.
deeply, because it touched you.
I mean, I grew up poor.
Yeah,
I can use that story, but
Yeah.
man, to be in that moment too with them and not having
Yeah.
the job to provide for your family, man, believe me, I was lots of lonely nights. And you know how that feels when you're running a business and things are not going the way you wanted. Man, lots of lonely nights going, am I doing the right thing? I got closer to God. I mean, I prayed, give me answers, and I'm thankful, but I also, even if I didn't win, I grew so much as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It made me a better person because I was able to go through that. And now more than ever, like, I love my community, but I fell in love with my community. That's where, like, for me, when I'm walking in Safeway, I'm like, I see people differently now. I'm like, what's up?
Yeah.
You good? You good? I'm good too. Yeah. Because that year was, whew.
I think it's going to make you an amazing policymaker because you've been there and then have everything taken away at age 50 out of the blue. Go, how the hell am I to support my family, right?
Yeah.
But everybody, I don't know, but it's like I read a lot of shit on human behavior and socialism. I mean, social changes. All men, most men, if you look at their career path, they go to a climb, right? And you go climb. And when you reach around 40 or mid 40s, between 40 and 55, even the CEOs, and you can reflect and look back and then go, shit happened. And then at that moment in time, all of them, most of them, right, begin to look at themselves differently. You go, wow, what happened? I was so successful. And then the deep connection with spirituality and then serving humanity. And they totally change. They begin to look differently. So the career path they were going was mostly by themselves. When they lost that, then they come back again. And this time they come back even greater strength because now they're serving humanity. So there's a book called True North. It was one of the most amazing book, and he talks about that. And that's but because of that, I think, Augie, now you're in office, your ability, you already connected the community and the people in Hawaii, but your personal experience on a financial side, it's going to lead everyone in your district to a better place. Because now you're going to see things like a normal human being.
There's nothing more and I want to see people working, thriving, businesses opening safely, because there's three things that move Hawaii: military, construction, and tourism.
Yeah.
And we know, because we drove here today, that it is a ghost town.
Yeah.
And we got to find a way to, bring these people in.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that, they understand that this is an island. We respect you, but you got to respect us and keep everything safe so that, my neighbors and my friends and my family will not move. 19,000 local people going to move.
Yeah.
That's our friends. That's our family.
That is because of COVID.
Because they just cannot
Financially,
make it.
we're struggling.
Yeah, they cannot
Yeah,
make it.
yeah.
So
California's going through the same shit. There's
Yeah.
more people leaving California than ever.
Yeah, so we don't want to see that happen. And
So what would you tell to all those people? Because I see that, a lot of times, it's divided. Some say, we don't want the tourists, let us live here, go back, we don't want you. Some say, no, we need the work. But it's so divided.
yeah,
Uh,
but that's how life is, right? Like, we got to give and take. There's so much of that. Fireworks. We don't like fireworks, but there's a culture that grew up in it. We got to learn how to, sit at the table and be rational thinkers.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
Just
the
open.
beautiful. Yeah, that's the beautiful part about life. Like, it's so sad that we cannot. Why is there a divide? Why can't we sit down until we make a decision that's going to be good and then live with it? If it's wrong, then we come back and we go, wasn't working.
I can understand if you don't work in Waikiki, right, and you're not dependent on the tourists, then screw it. We have all our beaches to ourselves. We can do whatever we want. We don't need the tourists.
Sure.
But if you do work with tourists, and then you hear someone saying that, it's so crazy because you're like, what? This is what I do.
Right.
This is my income. If I don't have those people, you guys don't count the Waikiki to spend, but I still pay the same rent.
Right.
So the situation is, I truly believe that
Yeah,
we need to do
well-
whatever we can to bring as many people as possible.
Sure. And, it's a great reset. It's a great time for us to look at other options, film, bringing more film to Hawaii. People talking about agriculture. People talking about, safety, meaning, new technologies. So, there's all these great options. But again, to me, it starts in the family again. It's a good time, man. What a great time to reset yet all the time. A year to sit down and dive into your kid's life. You know what I mean? They're at home. Now is a good time to sit down and see what's going on, help them with their work. We become so dependent on people and things that I think this has really opened our eyes to either, go with the flow or go, whoa, what good can come about this whole thing? And we got to see the good in it. What's the good in it? Well, cleaner hotels, people being a lot safer coming in to our state. We taking care of each other. Now we're really showing each other aloha. Why you gonna come in and lie when you just tested for COVID, right?
Yeah.
It's almost stupid. But even for get people to get on a plane and come, will take a while. So how are we gonna do that? What monies are we gonna use so that other programs don't get wasted or get disappear because we no longer have the money to do so? So, we got to come up with creative ways. We got to sit down and have an open discussion and go, look, we got to maybe do more construction. Why is permitting taking so long? Right? We got to push permitting along so we can get things built fast.
If you can get permitting work faster,
I'm moving in Milwaukee. I'm on the vote for you for the rest of my fucking life. Rick, you got 4 years. Augie's coming. No, I'm serious.
But I think that's what I want to be a good partner to the mayor too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think we've seen so much dissension in government. I want to be a great team player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be an ear, and I want to serve my community. I think most people, I'm a common sense guy. You know what I mean? If you tell me it's gonna cost $29.95, and I'll come back 2 weeks and go $49.95. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Come on, man. I hate when people do that. I tell them, hey, I want you to
switch.
draw me, I'm gonna commission you to draw me a sunset. And you go, yeah, Augie, I'm going to do them in 3 months. And in about a month and a half, you go to his art studio, and all you see is water. Right? And you go, brother, where's the sun? And you look at you like, sun?
That's not what we talk about.
Yeah, bro, it's called a sunset. Oh, man, they're going to cost like another $200. And I think so much of us have seen that happen.
Oh, so many times.
You know, with a lot of projects. You know, I just like know why. That's all. Because at the end of the day, I got to explain to the people in my community why we in overspend, why it taking 10 years. I want to be able to explain that. Tell me why. That's all. You know, we all had to sacrifice so that our kids get lunch. You know, we all had to sacrifice so that my mom can live in my house and do this the whole day. You know what I mean? I just like know why. Why my kids gotta move away? Why my mom gotta move in my house? Why my family and friends gotta leave because they cannot pay their mortgage?
You know, if you buy stock of a publicly traded company, right? The publicly traded company is obligated to give you all the numbers,
perspective.
everything,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything is clear. You can ask for anything.
Yeah.
The government takes your money. You invest in the government, right? You invest every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is no transparency. What did you use for the money? Up. There's none of your business. What do you mean it's none of my business? Of course it's my business because I gave you the
There's
money.
procurement, you know, you know, by law, we cannot,
Yeah.
no, dude. And that's the thing that I'm excited about. I'm excited about being in those discussions and just sitting at the table and go, I don't understand, bro. Make this easy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people hurting out there, why? Tell me why. You know, and an honest why. Because I want to see Hawaii thrive. I want to see construction. I want to see people working in the hotels. I want that to happen because I think if we can do that and teach that we all did this together, right? Because it's going to take a lot of effort to bring us back where we used to. And we all can celebrate it. We all can go, look, this is what we did. And this is the fruit of our labor now because we did it correctly. You know, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to get in there and just learn, but try to make a difference. Yeah, and
I'm excited for you. I'm
hey,
excited for all
and if
of
this
us.
doesn't work,
Yeah.
in 4 years I would have the most amazing comedy act ever.
He's just collecting material.
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
No, man. But you know, it's there's gonna be a lot of let me tell you what's not funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's a joke. There's gonna be a lot of that. You know, it's a joke. Let me tell you what's a joke. But you know, that's you know, and you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going there. You know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to work hard but be a great steward to my community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Don't
that's
lose
the-
this fire, Augie. Don't let those fuckers to
Yeah.
chip away from
Good,
your
then you
fire.
gotta come
No,
have me
because
back on.
I think the fire you have right now is amazing.
Yeah.
I think this big dream you have coming in to create change and listening to your constituent.
Yeah.
Don't lose that, man, because I think that's your
So you
magic.
gotta,
yeah.
You know why I do this,
Yeah.
and why I tell everybody that, because I believe that part of being successful is putting the most uncomfortable things out there, right? If you don't tell somebody to keep me accountable to my weight, they're never gonna ask you, what, you working out? So it's kind of that same thing. Like, I think the more I talk about it, the more people gonna remind me, because they know this is not a easy job.
Yeah.
You know it's difficult, but they can at least put me to the side and go, wow, bro, coming not the same Augie. I'm not. And I go back, check myself, right? And I think it's important for, I had a foundation called Speak the Dream, and we got to speak it. Got to throw it out there and let people know, because it keeps you accountable to your word. And I think it's so important in this day and age, you know, that we keep ourselves vulnerable and we keep ourselves to to being open to everyone and listening and showing your dreams, your aspirations. I think it's so important. That's why I love when you guys said, "Hey, can you come on the podcast?" And I said, "Yeah." You said January. I went, but Ray Brother Cooper went. Okay, I'm a replacement Ray Brother Cooper. You can let me like 100,000 from that million you want.
Ray Cooper.
No, hey Ray, he and his dad go way. His dad and I go way back. So
that's so funny.
Awesome, yeah.
Right on. Well, there's so much that you bring to the table, and I know you want to talk about your new position, but I have to have like a couple of questions about your
ahead.
old position as a
yeah,
comedian,
yeah.
because you did great stuff that nobody or not a lot of people were able to do before you. Give us a little bit of a taste. I know you helped a lot of comedians. You always try to, when you see someone funny like Tumua that was here on the show, that's how we got in touch. He said, you did great for him. So you saw him, you saw the potential, and you just gave him aloha. You were the guy. You were your teacher.
Sure. If some guy asked me, I will be brutally honest, because this is not an easy job. Getting on stage and putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, right? Being open and honest is not easy. So any kid or person that says, "Oh, I like to do stand-up," I go, "Right on, man. Get out there." And the way you do it is you jump on this stage as much as you can. That for me, I wanted to do stand-up every night if I could. There's nothing greater than telling a joke and people laughing. What an amazing adrenaline. Like, I cannot sleep after I'm done doing the show, because you took people on a roller coaster ride, that's emotional, and man, it's the most greatest feeling in the world, but it's a tough job. It's not easy sitting there and trying to find something that gonna connect with somebody, and when people say they like to do stand-up, I go, man, I'm about to go do it. Get on stage as much as you can. Find your voice. And, if you have an amazing belief and you work hard, you can get somewhere, because at the end of the day, it's about putting okoles in the seats.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're funny. Everybody think they can do comedy, right? But it's much more than that. It's having the ability to be a great marketer, finding a great venue, talking to the right people, having now an amazing social media, right? Before, when I was doing it, we had to go and put posters on, outdoor circle. Who was those people that they used to get mad at me because I had banners all over the place, and
they call it street team. They go around, put flowers every single post.
Everywhere, and
that was the social media of
back in the day. Man, it was hard.
And you did everything. You're the actor, you're producer, promoter.
It's
a one-man show.
I always had a job. That's the thing.
So you always kept a day job.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked at the hospital for 16 years, and then I did radio. I currently work at Sweep Strategies, where we help people learn how to put more money in their bank by learning how to use different bank products. Paying less the interest, putting that interest in your pocket. I do marketing for different venues because
and you're doing right now like a program for school, right? Something about finance.
So my daughter's foundation is Brave Hawaii, but we're looking at how to help kids understand money and how money works. We used to go to school and they used to teach us how to write a check in a checkbook. They don't do that anymore. Or maybe they do, I don't know.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah. You and I grew up where they actually teach you balance a checkbook, home economic, you have wood shop, automatic, like the good stuff they can use in life. What you say earlier was so powerful. Now you're actually a councilman. There's a big missing link in our education is we don't teach our children about finances, right? Because most of our parents don't teach us finance at all.
Yeah.
80 or 90%. So we go up into the world and we, go to school, get good grades and get out, and you just don't know how to manage your money.
Yeah. No, and it's
and
tough.
you have nothing.
It's tough. I've been doing this marketing for sweep strategies now for 3 years, and
Yeah.
people are afraid to put themselves out there,
Right.
because they're embarrassed by
Right.
their financial situation. But I tell them, man, you love, not sleeping at night,
Yeah.
having anxiety, or you believe in knowledge is power, and it's educating yourself. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Educate yourself.
Right.
Learn that the bank is there to help push you along, but if you use it not correctly, you can put yourself in a worse situation.
Right.
If I gave anybody $20,000 and they never know how to use the $20,000, they would go, Vegas, here we come, right? They don't know that, they can use that money that the bank gave them to, eliminate some interest over here that they're paying monthly that could go back into their pocket. But we don't do that because we don't understand how the bank works.
Yeah, we don't
That's
understand the
all.
simple, basic things that's
Yeah.
build this industry. The biggest industry after 2009 that came back was banking. Simple interest, compound interest.
Yeah.
Two basic formula. If we teach our children that early on,
Yeah.
everybody can make money.
Sure.
You don't need to make money. You don't. The old paradigm. You gotta have money and make money. That's all bunch of lies.
I always tell business
Right.
people that hire people that, work for minimum wage. If they have a W-2 and they have decent credit, we can help them understand how to make passive income, how to learn how not to get into debt,
Right.
by just being responsible. You're gonna get there. You wanna get there now, or you wanna get there when you're 55?
Yeah.
When you made all the mistakes. And this is from a guy who made a ton of mistakes that never understand how money worked.
Right.
And all I knew was like, I gotta work harder. But you working just and you go, where my money going?
Hard,
and
not
that's,
smart.
Right. And that's part of the reason why I ran, is because I'm like, where all my money going?
Yeah.
And I sit with people through sweep strategies, and I see people work hard, but they're making this much and they're working paycheck to paycheck. And I went, wow, man, the cost of living over here is expensive. We love using our credit cards in Hawaii. We never gonna get out of debt, So, it's nothing hard. I'm just go, look, if you wanna learn, I go on Zoom, like you worried about Corona, we can do them through Zoom. I can come to your company. I can show you 30 minutes, 40 minutes of your life. You make the decision. I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to tell you bring 10 of your friends. It's not multi-level marketing. It's if you learn and you want to really grasp how the bank can help you, come, educate yourself. Then you decide. So I'm very passionate about that, because, I'm worried that, my kids will make the same mistakes that I did. And I don't want them to do that. I want them to do that.
To your point, Augie, if you implement, we changed the education system now, and we begin to teach these kids in 8th or 9th grade how money works, compound simple interest, all that stuff. They're a different human being. They can actually realize that, hey, you know what? I can really follow my passion, do what I love, and be disciplined and invest early on. It's about time and compound interest.
Right.
And they can have tremendous amount of freedom and health, and then they go to work as happy, enthusiastic human being. They come home as happy husband and wife.
Right.
We have a different society.
Yeah.
And that's the
And
issue.
even if people not, the most talented, and it's just everyday people going to a job, being the most amazing barista, being the most amazing, surfboard, carver, or, anything.
Yeah.
Because they know how to use their money correctly. There's so much better, happier people. And, that's, for me, that's like the most ultimate, for me, one of my goals is that if I can help people understand that, man,
It's fear, it's removing fear, right? So you can live a life more peaceful.
Oh, we shame
and
too,
happy.
right?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
live in Hawaii. We
Oh, yeah.
nobody know.
Yeah.
Let me see that I only
Yeah.
make this much money.
Well, the credit to me, credit card debt is it's like, I don't know. It's like drug. It's like you sublimate your hurt and insufficiency as a human being with consumption through credit cards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where it's coming from, I think. Otherwise, if you understand money work, you go, wait a minute. If I put money here, I get this. I'll go put it on the credit card. I get this. Hell no, of course. But I think we got to educate. We got to change the education system so our children, the younger generation, can grow up with tools and then they can make really good decisions.
Yeah. Well,
You're doing that in your District 9. You're doing it on District 9.
I want to, that's, I want to educate people. Even the way politics works. A lot of people just don't know.
This is another subject that nobody knows.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it before.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how it really works.
Guys coming up to me, what do you think about Mauna Kea? I go, city and county, rubbish, trash. You know what I mean? But then I understand the passion. My kids are half Hawaiian. They love the Mauna. And how do you explain to somebody who's very passionate? You just be honest and go, yeah, I get it, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm a person that believes in law, and we have to follow law. And if they did everything that they did correctly, who am I to say, that they're wrong? But I get it. I understand your passion.
Of course.
And a lot of people don't know, who their senator, who their representative, who their city councilman, who their neighborhood board members are. Because we're so busy and we caught up with life and we're working and...
So, for example, councilman, right? You, Augie T, you have a big name. Of course, people know you. But all the other ones, right? Who knows them?
I think it's important. That's why, even with
if
the
you don't see
show,
the sign on the sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
On the junction or whatever.
Yeah, during the election, you would know. Right?
You would
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Most
Right.
people don't.
And that's why, podcasts helps. My radio show, I want to be able to have, city councilmen and women and representatives, senators, governor, mayor, come on and let's educate the public.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, I do that because, I have a platform. I can make people laugh in the morning. I can make them think a little bit. I can educate, and that's why I'm really
beautiful.
excited. Yeah,
It's absolutely
that's
beautiful.
why when you said come, I was like, I love to come on the podcast and talk story.
Well, and we digged into your campaign, and we saw some of your messages that you... and we loved it, so we chose the 6 that we love the most, and we'll let you kind of, talk about it. Don't downgrade your dream just to fit your reality. Upgrade your conviction to match your destiny.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is so big. Powerful, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
Augie.
Just you saying it got me inspired. And everybody else.
Can I use that on t-shirt?
with that accent too.
I'll give you.
With that
I'll
accent.
give you a.
With that accent too.
I'll donate you next whatever.
If you have an accent and you speaking that way and you're reading stuff with conviction with an accent, not only sounds really convincing, but if you and girl watching this, you go, oh my God.
It's definitely motivating.
Yeah.
Let me read you another one. Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is.
Yeah.
Was it meant, especially now, Corona, because it fits so
Absolutely.
well? Okay, so look at the
to-
half glass full.
Correct. You know what I mean? We all are thinking outside of the box. It's a great reset. I think it is. I think good times are ahead of us. And
100%.
we have to be hopeful. We have to. I'm so
100%.
tired of the negativity. You know what I mean? We got to think big. We got to think hey, you know what? We're going to do the best with what we have, and we're going to do it. We're going to make it work, and that's the greatest, the amazing side of human beings when, we don't hear enough of that.
Yeah.
People that that wake up every morning, that hate their life, but they go, you know what, I gotta do something today. They put their shoes on, they put their pants on, they put on their makeup, and they go, I'm going because it's important, and I know I can make a difference. So, that's one of my favorite quotes right there. And I'll end with my favorite. So,
All right. 3 simple rules. Do the right thing. Do the best you can. Show people you care. That is so true.
easy, right?
Easy.
People
Hard
not-
to do, but easy.
Yeah.
Easy said, hard to do sometimes.
It's
you know,
a choice. You
I
can
know, but
choose to.
I know, but we operate in this lens because whatever happened in the past, we decide, hey, this is the lens we'll operate. But if that was so easy to practice, we wouldn't have the society we have today,
Right.
But I think it's nice that you remind us, hey, it's just 3 simple things. We can do it, you know?
Yeah, I love that quote because what happens is a lot of times when you become the comic, everybody thinks that you got to be funny 24/7.
Yeah.
They don't realize that I have a wife, and my wife wants me to go shopping with her. I'm not the big shopping guy,
Yeah.
and that's why I love the fact that for the last year and a half we had a mask because she couldn't see anything that I was saying under the mask when I was pushing the wagon at Ross's. I was like, we're going home. All she sees the eyes. We're going home already. So, what happened was like, people would see me at the mall or they see me, pushing a wagon in the store and I look upset or tired, and they would call the radio the next day and go, "Bruh, why you look so mad yesterday? Like, am I supposed to be happy 24/7?" But it's a decision, and it always puts me in check. Yeah, we're not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes, but like again, if you put stuff out there, it's good to be reminded. And I got a lot of reminders this last year and a half, and. It is simple steps and rules, and if we just practice that every day,
100%. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
We have a couple more. This one I really loved. Falling down is an accident. Staying down is a choice.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Say no more.
And that's my picture right there when I was 16 years old, winning the Golden Gloves.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
When's the last time you boxed? When's the last time you worked out?
Gosh, last time I worked out.
Yeah, like boxing, like hitting. Really?
Man, when I said at 24, after my 6th professional fight, ended up in a draw, I remember walking home and saying, that's it, I'm done. It was not fun anymore. I cannot put 100% into something. You got to put 110%
Right.
to everything you do. And I just felt like I was just doing it to do it. And it wasn't fun anymore. Didn't feel good going to work the next day at the hospital with, inflamed ears, a black eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's not fun. It has to be fun. So
That's what I love about you too. I heard something you said about Kaylee that, when you interview, goes, I'm the kind of guy like, hey, look, when I feel I no longer can contribute, make a difference, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I think that's so powerful. A lot of time we hang in there because of money, other things, and
yeah.
we don't realize we become toxic for people that surround us.
I told the people that I hired, for this office that I don't think it's a career job. This thing might last only 4 years.
Yeah.
Because it's not my doing. I want to be able to do the best I can, and if God willing and we enjoy doing what we're doing and we make a difference, then God will make it known that we can go another 4 years. But work. Let's just work for 4 years.
Yep.
Because I might after 4 years go, I think I like go back to comedy.
or become the mayor.
Yeah. Yeah, or the governor.
Hey.
That's what
Or
I'm
the
saying.
That's why I leave you guys.
All right, check this out. Don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just prove.
Yeah. Again, that's part of the reason why I said 5% cut prior to COVID, because people need to see examples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
See your commitment.
yeah, you know, and one of the things that I told, you know, the new office staff that got hired is that we're going to be actively involved in the community. I got this thing called Augie's Hour to Empower.
Ooh,
Right? And I
love.
want people to, you know, step outside the box and do something in their community for an hour. You know, and maybe, just maybe, we might change the way we see things and inspire our children to step outside the box and do the same thing too. You know, why always we see seniors doing, you know, neighborhood walks? You know, let's go encourage some young dads and moms to do it instead of the seniors. You know, let's walk along with them.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, we have a plan made out, and I'm hoping that people will love the plan. You know, we don't have the kind of monies we're gonna have. A lot of things will be maybe cut because of the financial situation we're in, and going to take community action and going to take people stepping up. So
Well, we step behind you.
Listen, you have Johnny and I.
okay,
Whatever you need, my
whatever
friend.
you need from us to
Okay.
whatever, and
We're good
Awesome.
soldiers.
I captain.
We're good soldiers.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be fun.
captain. Yeah.
Let's be fun.
And our last one that we have for you: never
Okay.
stop doing great just because someone doesn't give you the credit.
That's right.
What a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think, yeah, man. You know, I think part of the reason why 28 years have been a blessing on stage is because I just left it on stage. You know what I mean? Like, cool being recognized. I think one of the things that really helped me see that God has really blessed my life was 3 months into the campaign. I was walking door to door in Mililani. Everybody told me Mililani was going to be difficult because you get plenty people that smart, educated, you know, different class of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, we live in that kind of society? Like, why do we? I had to hear that all my life, that I wasn't going to make it because I was a local boy from Kalihi that spoke one certain way. And I used to get so pissed off that people labeled.
Yeah.
And I had to hear that again, right? And I'm like, you know, when I'm driving my car, I'm looking left, I'm looking right. I'm looking at people who look just like me. What are you talking about? Why we gotta put people in classes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we humans.
Yeah.
So I needed to get out early to campaign because I needed to show people my heart. I knew that if people listened and I looked them in the eye, they might have a different opinion of me, because a lot of people just saw me as a comic.
Yeah.
So early on, we out Mililani door knocking, and before I even got to the door, when Howley guy came out and said, "I voted for you. I gonna vote for you, Augie." And I was, you know, I laugh like you guys, right? I go like, "Why? Why are you gonna vote for me, sir?" And he looked me in the eye and he said, "Because I watched your career for the last 20 years, and I don't think you're ready to mess up that trust you have between you and I."
Oh my
And
God.
so I get chicken skin, and that really
That's so
justified
Yeah.
justified everything.
Yeah.
That maybe, just maybe, I did something right the 20 years of being on stage. You know, that I
definitely
built that kind of trust. So whoever that person is, thank you, because that's going to be something I'm going to probably put like on my desk to remind me, you know, that, you know, you're building trust and you
Yeah.
continue to build trust.
That's your badge of
And
honor.
then, honestly,
That's your
even
badge
when
of
you make a
honor.
mistake,
Yeah.
people would rather hear a politician go, "I messed up.
Yeah.
I might have voted
I
wrong.
did
in
not
this,"
inhale.
you know? And you come across, you know, real,
Yeah.
you know, and
Just authentic. Yeah.
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 So, yeah, man, I'm gonna end with this.
Yeah,
'cause I
yeah,
know-
you're
I know we're
amazing,
gonna
you're
wrap it.
amazing.
I know we're gonna wrap this
Yeah,
up.
we're
let's go.
we're over 90 minutes.
Holy smoke! I have another appointment.
Okay,
what
we
we're
gotta
gonna do? First of all, we're gonna award Augie the Aloha Hour Hama Award.
Oh, hammer!
Hammer, because you won hammer. No,
This is
because you're a
awesome.
hammer.
And we
love it.
have 5 what would you rather questions for you
Okay.
so we can finish off in a
What?
funny, uplifting
Yes,
mode.
let's go.
All right. What would you rather? Become the governor of Hawaii and talk like Ige, or become the president of United States and have hair like Trump?
Oh, shit.
Well, first off, I cannot. Honestly, I'm Filipino, so a lot of times we don't lose our hair, so I don't have to worry about my hair turning orange. And then at the same time, I do when I'm tired. I have the David E. Gay voice. It just naturally comes out.
That's
because
an answer.
I did that one time because I used
That's
to work
incredible.
at the lieutenant governor's office, and I always thought like if I did that, the governor would see me and just go,
Okay, can I talk to you just for a moment?
you know, I could see you like put me on the side. And,
I don't think that's funny. why
I
you,
disagree.
you know, don't you know that I know how to do judo? You know? Oh, just because I walk slow, or just because look like I'm sleeping, you better not take me for granted. My ancestors are ninja. Sneak attack, chokehold you, pass you
All
out.
right. I have another tough one for you.
okay,
Oh,
Are
that's
you
so
ready?
good.
yeah.
What would you rather eat, Filipino balut or a 2-week-old fruit?
You know, growing up, I ate a lot of 2-week-old fruit, and being Filipino, I've had balut. So, it's, you know,
Delicious.
how about this? Huh? I grab the 2-year-old fruit, I squeeze it into the balut, I go.
Combo. Yeah, combo.
All right. What would you rather, own a parrot that likes to talk story all day, or have a dog that likes to eat the slippers all day?
You know, because I'm part Portuguese, and obviously from this podcast, I love talking.
You need that
I
parrot.
would love to have a talking parrot that actually responds. You know, and I'd probably bring him out to Waikiki and tell all the tourists that, you know, we do have indigenous parrots that fly around. And, you know, how did the parrot become like our bird?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? You know when the tourists taking pictures with parrots in Waikiki?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
It's
like
that one guy.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like, you know, parrots are flying around Kalihi, you know, like a parrot.
Another way to make money.
I guess I would do that. Hey, look, have a conversation with my talking parrot. Hey, can I get $20 for picture taking?
What would you rather, stuck in traffic every morning for 45 minutes or on your toilet?
Oh, gosh. I love doing both. Believe it or
Put a
not,
porta potty in your car and you're
that's
good.
what
You
I
can
do.
do both.
I
Yeah.
do the best thinking when I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I rode the bus from Waianae for years, and I love sitting on the bus because in my first DVD, half of the routine that I wrote was because I was listening to people on the bus.
Wow.
Some of the most colorful people, you know, and fun listening to people talk. I love it.
100%. All right. What would you rather, perform stoned with Dave Chappelle or drunk with Joe Coy?
Oh, God, I did both. Never do well. Back in my old days. Yeah, not good. I think I would love to, like, just be on the same stage with Dave Chappelle. I know Joe. I would love, you know, we friends. But, man, Chappelle,
That's a whole different.
you know,
yeah.
he's the Richard Pryor of this generation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be great to do it both back in the day when I wasn't thinking about running for office.
Well, if you guys heard it, let's do a trio: Augie T, Dave Chappelle, Joe Coy, Blaisdell.
Yeah,
And thank you
another
very
sellout show.
Sellout shows for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
It was
Oh, super honor, and I think it's going to be incredible. I'm going to move to District 9.
I can't blame you.
Yeah, I'm going to move. Kaimuki going to be Mililani boy.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
what you guys are doing, and I enjoy watching your other episodes. You know, I too go and do a lot of research before jumping on anybody's podcast, and you know, you guys are, you know, making a difference. So I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you,
yeah?
man.
No.
Thank you. It's been a great pleasure.
Same here.
All right.
Thank
I want
you,
to
man.
say thank you to all our followers on Instagram, all our subscribers on YouTube. Thank you for all the messages. Thank you for our sponsors, Kiko Collective, Hawaiian Aroma Cafe, and Chamui Sauce. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you for believing in this. Thank you for believing in the Aloha Hour. See you next time.
Good night. Hui.